I wanted to acknowledge a woman who is the reason why, I'm allowed to come here. My wife, Paula, she's sitting over there in the corner. She blew up all the balloons and helped me set up everything, but maybe without you it doesn't happen. So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you very much. Very, very grateful. But listen, behind every great player is a parent, a mom, a guidance, whatever it is. Because it takes all of us to make good people, you know what I mean? And we have our mantra here, and we say it, and a guy said it 2,000 years ago. We try to remember it. We say, love one another. Love one another. And it's that simple. The world is a very complicated place, but if we try to remember that, it doesn't matter who, what, where, why, when, how, it doesn't matter. Love one another. That's the message. That's the most powerful thing we do. Because if you have that and you embody that, and I talk about it all the time, if you love the guy next to you or the girl next to you more than you love yourself, you're going to be successful. And that's so true in life. It really is. That's a great lesson for me. And I'm just very grateful for the opportunity to be here with you. I think we'll let Doug, we'll let you guys go first. Come on. Come on up, Doug.
Lion Nation, very good to be in front of you guys again. It's been a while. So excited to be here. Our 15, 17-year-old team, it's a unique age group. They're in high school. Things are different. They have different priorities, different compete level. And I was fortunate to get this staff together. Our number one priority was try to give them as close to a high school football experience as possible. Whether it was starting in March, playing prep schools, practicing more, that was our aim and that was our goal. And I think this group was unique in the fact of how close they are. You can see it over there. I don't even know why we let those three sit next to each other. Lo and behold, that's kind of the brotherhood that we were able to form at that age group, and something I hope will continue as long as we're here. So, we've talked about Coach Tim enough, but one thing I will say is, as long as he's here, no matter who else is coaching, who else is volunteering, this program's going to be okay as long as he's in the building. Would you guys agree with that? I think so. It was our special season, my first year as head coach, our first year as a staff. We had a great coaching staff. I mean, we had one of the bigger staffs in the league that did a really good job and really committed, and I asked a lot of them, and they raised the bar, so I'm appreciative for that. All right, so we got some awards to hand out here. We'll start with the league awards. And these were special. So the way the league works is all the head coaches get together and vote on MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, so on and so forth. So I was in that room fighting for our guys, because I think we have the best players in the league. No one can tell me otherwise. We'll start with our All-Stars. We had a league-high 13 All-Stars on our roster.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
8 honorable mention. So we'll run through those. Coach Will, actually have Coach Will come up and name these up.
First honorable mention, Taylor Ford. He's actually an all-star. He's not here, but next all-star, Giovanni Castro. All-Star quarterback and cornerback, Josh Richards.
Can you speed up the table up here process? Come on.
All-Star Marcus Hendricks Jr. Potentially the most improved DB as well, another All-Star, Jamori Connor. Probably the best linebacker in the league, Kels Harrison. And then the League Coaches Award, Kiran Mishra. Come on, Jerry, your turn.
How we doing, guys? How we doing? Good, good, good. Welcome, thank you. It's great to see our beautiful families here with the Lions organization. Here we go for the honorable mention. All right, cool. Just kidding, I'm gonna drop these things. Michael Hudson. Next up. Jake Lantis. Oh boy. Alex Dominguez. Last up, for honorable mention, Jaleel Robinson. Come on. Congrats,
Coach Beck.
Coach Beck.
So the next award, the team most valuable player. This player demonstrated, supreme talent on the field, committed himself to excellence on and off the field, and truly embodied the spirit of what it is to be determined, to have resilience, and to be a Lion. So this year's 15-17 team MVP, Josh Richards.
Coach Simon, best offensive player.
Thank you very much. I imagine most people will be able to hazard a guess who might win this win this award. There's one player on our roster who, every time he touched the ball, whether that's on special teams, that's on defense, whether that's on offense, good things happen, and was a huge danger man for our entire offense. Everything went around him, whether that was a decoy or just getting him the ball and letting special things happen. So, best offensive player, Taylor Ford.
I'm gonna do decent player of the year award. This player shows willingness to learn new positions and excel at them. That's something that's important in this league. You never know who's in and out. And overall, I think as a young man, he kind of turned his attitude around too greatly, and that's going to serve him well moving forward, whether it's in prep school or college, or next season here. I think we're all very proud of him as an organization. Best defensive player goes to Jamori Connor. Coach, you want to do Stephen G. Hoffman Award. Coach Tim could speak on Coach Steve better than I ever could, but when I think of Coach Steve, since I got this program, I think of commitment, being selfless, and just having a general intensity and excitement about everything you do. And I think this player, who's been with us for a while, he took a little 2-month vacation from our program, but he came back. He's been great to be around. He's the heart of our program. He's going to do great things after he leaves us. So the SGH award goes to Avery Henry. All right, the last thing we have the league awards that the coaches vote on. I'll get into that. So, the best linebacker in the NYCYFL, I thought it was easy. The coaches in the league thought it was easy. This player carries our defense, and he's only 15. So, hopefully he carries it for a few more years if I'm lucky, if we're lucky. He came to us. We ran into him on the park, and our lives were never the same. But he's a special player. He has a ton of potential and a future in high school football, in this league, or in college football. So the best linebacker in the NYCYFL goes to Kels Harrison. The league didn't give us awards for that, so just go figure that out. Surprising. Gio's not here, but he was voted the best defensive lineman in the NYCYFL.
As he should.
And lastly, the award that all the coaches fight over, and everyone has an illegitimate claim. My guy's done this, my guy's done this. The colleges are looking at him, but when I think of the award, it's what player changes programs. What player on the field gives you a chance to win every week, and that other teams game plan for it. That's what I think MVP is. And I know every team in the league had the game plan for Josh Richards, and that's why he's That's it. I'm excited to see you guys in March. I expect to see all of you guys there. But we have unfinished business to get done. Would you agree? And it starts in March. So looking forward. Happy to see you guys again. See you in March.
So I wanted just to, I guess we're going to give out the rest of the awards, but we have rings for the 13 and 15-year-old team. The gentleman is a week late, but I'm going to hold a separate ceremony where everyone's going to get their ring. So I just wanted you guys to know that. It's going to be a ring, your name's going to be on it, name, jersey number on the side, and basically it's a very special thing to have that. And it's the second, I guess it's the second team we've had that's been able to win a championship, so we're very grateful about that. I just wanted to say thank you to the parents and everyone else. We're going to give out the individual awards to the 13 to 15-year-old team now. I'll start with This young man has been with us for a couple years, very committed. Parents are committed to the program. Father, he's like, what do you need? What do you need? He's like one of those people, always asking, what do you need? What do you need? And, you know, as I said, it goes back to that word, selfless, right? Selfless, not selfie. So I just wanted to say thank you. Our most improved player is Ezra Bornstein. Ezra? Well done, son. Well done. All right. This guy, he played with us, and then he left, and then he came back. And when he came back, I think he was a little bit shaken because he thought I was going to tear his head off. He came with his mom, and his mom was with him. And he's like, Coach, remember me? I said, I remember you. And because he has so much talent, he has such an upside. You know, it's like his ability is like a hockey stick. You know, like I look at his ability and what he can do, that trajectory of a hockey stick going straight up. Well, that's what this young man embodies. Our best lineman this year, Brandon Lee. Thank you, son. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
The next young man is, I don't know, sorry, pardon me, our best offensive player. I don't know if he's here today, but a couple words about him. He came from us from another program out of Brooklyn, and we basically told him, well, you're going to play down with us, and he was not happy. But by the end of the season, he was like, it's probably one of the best decisions I ever made because I learned how to play a position that I never thought I would play. And part of being a football player, you do what's best for the team, not what's best for you. You know, and when we get out of that mindset of, oh, what's best for me? What about me? No, it's we. You know, and we constantly, and we always talk about that. We, not me. You know, we live in a me world. We got to get out of me. We got to start thinking about we. You know, and it goes back to what we say, love one another, right? Best offensive player is Kieran Campbell. I don't think he's here, but I want to say a couple words on his behalf. I don't think this guy made it either, but that's okay. He was our MVP, hands down. And when he gets out of the mindset, because when he came, he was a flag football player. There's a little bit of a difference between a flag football player and a tackle football player. The mindset's a little bit different, and you got to get out of that mindset of like, I got to fake everyone out. And with tackle football, you tell the kid to lower his shoulder and run through him or her. So I wanted to, you know, acknowledge this young man. He has an incredible, bright future. I mean, he's only 13 years old, and he was our MVP. Our most valuable player is Caleb Rivera. You move like a lineman. Congratulations, son. Good to see you, baby. Our next guy, this kid's very special young man. Incredibly, he's the type of guy who's like, what can I do for the team, coach? What about this? And, you know, similar circumstances to Kieran, because I know he wanted to play up, you know, and he wrote me a message, and I started reading the message. I was like, oh, okay. And in the message, he embodied his transformation, so to speak. You know, I think about Jamari. Jamari, you've transformed into an incredible human being. You came here and you were fighting everybody. And now you're an incredible man. Your trajectory is another hockey stick. I talk about the hockey stick as you can go as far as you want, but you got to reach and you got to work for it. Just like CJ spoke about, you got to work for it. No one's going to hand you anything. Life's not about that. And if you're looking for the handout, you're never going to succeed the way you should. So this young man, I love him. I mean, incredible human being. He always thinks of others. And that's a testament to his parents, to his two dads, incredible human beings, beautiful people. they always ask, what can we do for you? How can we help you? Our best defensive player, Aiden, come on up, man. Come on up. I guess the final award. This guy is incredible human being. We're playing a team, and it's you know, they're putting in a couple kids that I've never seen before. I was like, who the hell is that kid? You know, and sometimes you play those teams that they'll put a guy in that you never saw before, and he's not on their roster. You say, how did he get there? And this guy, you know, he said, Coach, you know, why are we playing this guy? We're playing this guy. And I put him in, and he didn't care. He didn't care who he played against. He didn't care what was in front of him. He did his job. You know, we talk about doing your job. You know, football's about doing your job. And he embodied Stephen. You know, I looked at this kid, and he lived in the neighborhood, and he was just like, beautiful human being. Really selfless individual. The Stephen G. Hoffman Award goes to Wyatt Weiss. I'm going to, I guess they're going to serve a little bit of pasta in a couple minutes, but we can take a moment and for every person on the 13 to 15-year-old team, we went out, and the older guys have this as well, but on the back of it, it says, love one another. You know, that's what it says. Because that's our program. And on the front, it basically says, New York City Lions Youth Football League 2023 champions. So every 13 to 15-year-old player is going to get a sweatshirt like this at the end of the lunch. I'm going to make sure that every one of you get this, and every one of our coaches gets one of these as well. All right? So just make sure before you leave, you grab your sweatshirt. And listen, if you want one and you can't afford it, just let me know. I'll give it to you. Okay? Can't afford it, don't worry about it. We'll give it to you. But if you can't afford it and you can pay for someone else, fine. You know, I was asked, hey, why did you charge you $20, this and that, blah, 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 blah. I said, don't worry about it. If you can do it, do it. You know what I mean? We were going to set up the table and everything else, but I was like, you know what? If people want to help, they'll help. You know, because sometimes, listen, I know what it is. My parents slept on a Castro convertible, a pull-out couch, and there were 5 of us slept in one bedroom. I did not know what chopped meat was till I was 5 years old. I thought Spam was chopped meat. So I've been there. I know what it is. So that's how I stand in front of you and I identify. You know, I get it. Don't let the suit fool you. A lot of hard years, a lot of hard work went into this suit. But a mother and father who told me, get your ass to school, no, you're going to work for it. So I know all the parents here embody that as well. And if there's any kid here, parent, anyone, you're ever in a jam and you need help, just let us know. If we can help you, we're going to help you. You know, that's part of a family. That's what families do. You know, and it's important for us to remember that. I'm just very grateful for all of you being here. And I just wanted to say that because our program is grown a lot. You know, like Manny says, he could never imagine, you know, where we are now and where we're going. You know, that's the important part. So you're our greatest advocate. So if we want to grow this program from 7 years old to 17, well, you're our greatest advocate. Go out there, say, hey, I know a place, you know, March 2nd, bring the kids down. I've been out there, you know, Saturdays just doing instructional. We have a whole bunch of like 20 new kids, 25 new kids. I never saw them. But that's a testament to success. Word of mouth is the greatest way to recruit kids. I wanted to introduce, this will be the last speaker of the day and we'll go from there. But this young man, he's godfather to my son. And I've known him since he's 9 years old. That's how long I've known him. And I'm getting a little bit up there in age, but he's got a hell of a story. And I think you should hear it because he's a testament of never giving up. Sit down. He's a testament to never giving up. So I wanted to, Taylor, can you come up for a second? Come on up, Taylor, come on up. I'm going to let him tell his story. This will be the last speaker of the day. We'll have some food, we'll talk, we'll hug, we'll love, and then we'll be on our way. All right? I just keep it simple. I'm sorry about the microphone. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It must be my cufflinks. I don't know. All right.
Can everyone hear me? How's everyone doing this afternoon? I'm in a room full of football players. How's everyone doing this afternoon? That's what I'm talking about. Someone told me I was in the presence of champions, so I want to feel it when I'm in the room with you all. As Coach Tim said, he has been in my life since I was 9 years old, and I always commit to showing up to this event because it's the one time that I'm guaranteed to still be called a young man. So, I'm 40 years old now. When Coach Tim and I first met each other, I promise you he had a long mane on his head. Long flowing hair. He was a supermodel back in the day. You don't know about that. But I joke around, but I just really want to speak to what Coach Tim and what football did for me in my life. We play the game and we hope to get a lot out of it. Sometimes you have dreams, you want to be a professional athlete, you want to make money, get attention, and score the winning touchdown, but you don't realize this microphone is hating on me right now, but we're going to be all right. Sometimes you don't realize how much the game can give you if you give something to it. First and foremost, if you're sitting in this room right now, consider yourself a very blessed person. Because that means you have people volunteering, coaches who are committing themselves to your self-improvement. That's one. Number two, that means you have someone in your life outside of the coaches, whether it's your parent or caretaker. Come on now. That means you have a parent or caretaker who loves you, who's providing direction for you in your life. And the older you get, I promise you, I'm not being cynical, but the older you get, the less you run into people who are dedicated to making sure that you are your best. So if you're sitting in this room and you have a parent or you have a mentor or someone guiding you, know that you are incredibly blessed. It's about more than trophies, it's about opportunity, it's about love, and that's what football means to me in my life. I'll briefly go through my story. I was a young man who left Liberia. If you don't know where Liberia is, on the west coast of Africa, on the Horn. Moved to the United States right before the Civil War broke out in Liberia. Many of my family, Coach Tim, can we cut this off?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No worries. Many of my family members were left behind in Liberia, and a large number of my family members did die in the war. Once again, I'm sure you've heard Coach Tim say this. Life isn't always fair. It just is. You know, so if you have an opportunity or good things happen to you in your life, please savor it. Savor it and make the most of it. As a young kid growing up in Left Rack City, I had a lot of energy. I had a little bit of ADD, if you want to call it that. And I needed to put my energy somewhere. So I saw a group of kids one day walking with football pads. The immigrant family that I came from, soccer was the big sport. My parents knew nothing about American football, as they called it at the time. And quite honestly, all they wanted me to do was go to school, come home, and stay out of trouble, because they saw the kids playing basketball in Left Rack City. And they thought to themselves, if playing a sport means smoking weed when you're supposed to be in school, I don't want you having no parts. And so I followed these kids to Juniper Valley Park. At the time, I was playing for the Queens Falcons. Couldn't afford the bus at the time, and I didn't want to tell my parents that I was doing what I was doing. So I walked all the way to Juniper Valley Park, and my mind was blown to see so many people running around on the field, hitting each other, not getting in trouble for it. The whistles were blowing. Coach Tim and Coach Steve, you know, Coach Tim is loud. When they get loud, they spit a little bit. You know, you're sitting there watching them giving, hey, you gotta get in the kitchen. It was amazing. My mind was blown. I said, I need to do this thing. I need to be a part of this thing. And so as time went along, Coach realized that, you know, I hadn't paid for my pads yet. I didn't bring my permission slip. So he said, what's up? What's going on? You know, Coach Tim and Coach Steve. I said, listen, my parents aren't having this sports thing. Coach said, no problem, I'll come to your house. I'll speak to your father. Come on, let's go. You know how he does it. And so as promised, the coaches came in and spoke to my parent. And if you know anything about African parents, they don't like to be caught off guard. So my father, with a clenched jaw, stood there and acted like he knew what was going on. Oh yeah, he's playing football, I knew that. Let me sign this slip. When the coaches left, my brother had to jump in and come to my defense. And my father said, don't you ever disrespect me and bring somebody in my house and have them tell me something that I have no idea about. Do you want to do this football thing? I said, yes. I think I love it. I want to do it. My father's only direction to me was, give it your best. Stay out of trouble. Give it your best and stay out of trouble. And for the person who was most resistant to it, my father, God rest his soul, he passed away in 2020. It gave us an opportunity to be closer than we ever were in my life. You know, I have a video from the boarding school I went to. I was watching, after I scored a touchdown, I saw somebody dart across the screen. I heard this man speak with his Liberian accent, and he just pumped his fist in the air. He was so proud. I'd never seen that moment before. So I sat there with tears in my eyes, and it really touched me how invested a parent could be, how happy a parent or a caretaker could be to see you thrive, to see you chase and go after your dreams. Until you guys have kids one day, you will never understand how much your parents and your family members love you. I heard this all throughout my life. I'm like, man, they exaggerate. They're trying to give themselves extra credit. The older you get, you realize, damn, I'm so blessed to have somebody that loves me or cares enough to give me direction. You know, and one of the things that really did help me when I was playing for the Falcons, I listened to the direction the coaches and the other guides had to give me. And because of that, the coaches got together and said, listen, this young man, he's athletic, he seems intelligent, let's see if we can get him somewhere. Let's see if we can get him a scholarship to go to boarding school. And that's one of the greatest things that ever happened in my life. The coaches took me to take the SSAT, and I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to go to Lawrence Academy in Groton, Massachusetts. Coach Tim was intimately involved in the entire process from driving me to the several interviews that I had, from providing encouragement to keep me focused at the time, because I saw all of my friends going to play for Christ the King and other places. He said, God has a plan for you. Something's going to work out. Just stay focused. Keep being the person that you are. And I can't overstate it, but recognize a good thing in your life when you have it. You know, if someone's giving you instruction, they're not trying to get on your nerves. They've been somewhere before, and they have seen some things. So they're trying to give you, as they say nowadays, $1 million worth of game for free. Take it. Don't bang your head over and over when somebody has already had the experience and trying to provide you guidance so you can avoid that hard time. Trust me, life can give you other opportunities to learn tough lessons, but take the good advice that people give you. Coaches talked about Coach Steve a lot, who I dearly miss. He died my senior year of high school, and although all the coaches were a bit disappointed I didn't choose Notre Dame to go to college, I went to Boston College. For me, it wasn't just a personal victory. You know, I really felt like I was standing on the shoulders of every single person, I'll say it once again, who volunteered their time to do something positive for someone else without the expectation of receiving money for it. That's what we need nowadays more than anything else. People are always looking for the kickback. Well, why should I help? People are criticizing you young kids, but they're not willing to lead by example. You'll go on a train on the subway. You'll see grown men sitting down. They won't get up for little kids, 3-year-olds and mothers. But yet they'll call young kids, oh, the bad kids. Well, you got to provide the example before you point the finger. You know what I'm saying? And those of you who are in this room playing the game of football, it builds character. It builds strength. And I don't know if some of you are too young to watch Any Given Sunday, but there's a speech that Al Pacino, who plays the head coach, gives. And I didn't realize it until much later in my life, the significance of that speech and how much football correlates to life. Everything you need in life is right in front of you. It seems so simple. Just do the right thing. But oftentimes you encounter resistance in life. It may be people, it may be health circumstances, you may just feel down most of the time. But that resistance, if you fight against it, if you keep giving your best, it builds a monster, a good monster. It builds somebody who's resilient. It builds somebody who's dependable. It builds somebody who can stand up and help and support their family when they're called upon. one of the greatest things anyone can call you in this life is dependable. Dependable. So a lot of you will go on to do great things in your life. Some of you may go to the league, that's great. That'd be fun. But life is full of so many opportunities. And you all have gifts within you. Use this sport to pull the best out of you. Football will give you what you give to it. And it'll teach you how to keep getting up and giving your all. Because life will knock you down a little bit. But sometimes that's an opportunity for you to be your best. And I know I've been all over the place, but I just have to tell you all that just coming in this room and speaking to you, you are my inspiration. You are my inspiration. There are more of you playing football the way you do than the people we'll be watching playing in the Super Bowl tomorrow. You all have more on the line than they do. You had to get paid millions and we watch it, but you do what you do and the whole world isn't watching. You're doing it because you love the game, because you have dreams. And what an honor it is to have a dream and to pursue it and to put energy and effort towards it. You are so blessed. Don't forget about that. So show yourself some love, show your family some love, and show life some love by respecting yourself and going after the things you care about with all the passion you have in your heart. I thank you all for giving me a couple of minutes. Much love to you.
Serve some food in a couple minutes, and I guess the smartest way for us to do it, we're going to go table by table as opposed to just everyone rushing. So take a couple moments. We can open these windows over here, I believe. Let's get some air in there because I think it's a little bit hot. I got a lot of hot air in me, that's for sure. So, but just give it about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. We're going to serve the pasta, and we'll go table by table, and maybe if you're finished with your meal, there's someone standing. And maybe you give your seat to them and be kind. All right, so just give us about 10, 15 minutes. Thank you very much. The bathrooms are upstairs if you need to use them. Thank you.